Yo, what's going on, everybody? You've seen the thumbnail, you've read the title. Today I want to talk about Black Ops Cold War's created class system and why I don't really like it. So with that being said, I don't think there's much more to do with this intro, so let's get right on into today's video, guys. Alright, so for some of you longtime fans of the channel, you would remember that I made a video back in Modern Warfare saying why I don't like Gunsmith and why I think Pick 10 is better. I still stand by that video to this day. I still stand by the fact that I think Pick 10 is better, but I realize Cold War probably deserves a whole nother revisiting of this topic, because Cold War's Gunsmith or created class system is much worse than Modern Warfare's with a whole bunch more problems. So I just want to dive into the very first thing I can think of, which is guaranteeing everybody a secondary. Now, this was a thing that usually was not a problem in previous Call of Duty titles. Guaranteeing people a secondary in COD 4 wasn't really a problem. Modern Warfare 2 wasn't really that much of a problem, but the problem starts to arise when your secondaries are stupidly strong like they are in Cold War. I'm sure we have all died in Cold War to the dual-wield Magnums or the dual-wield Diamatis or a Howler or a Gallo just being pulled out of seemingly absolutely nowhere and just getting completely destroyed in a close-range gunfight because all somebody did was press the triangle button on their controller or the Y button or their scroll wheel on PC. You know, you get the point. All it takes for somebody to completely end a gunfight is to press one button and spam the trigger up close. That's the problem. But here's the thing, having strong secondaries isn't inherently bad if you don't guarantee these secondaries to everybody. If you want to have strong secondaries, that's fine, but when you guarantee them to everybody, like the Cold War created class system does and the Modern Warfare created class system, you start to make a problem where every single close range gunfight is subverted by these very, very strong pistols and even shotguns in some cases, where that's the only thing that you get in close range gunfights. If you want to have an actual somewhat skilled gunfight, you have to be in that medium to close SMG range, right? You can't be up very close because it's going to get subverted by some broken secondary. And the thing is, it's not a bad thing. Like, you take Black Ops 3 for example with the dual-wield Marshall 16s. That wasn't that bad because people had to give something up in order to run those. And they also could not run long barrel on the Marshall 16, so they had to be very close to decimate you with those things. So it was like trade-offs, right? That's why Pick 10 has been such a great thing. But the problem lies with Cold War when you are able to run these very strong secondaries, 6 perks, a frag and stun, and those frags and stuns can regenerate. Do you start to see the problem with this? You basically turn everybody into super soldier warfare with virtually no trade-offs. That was the thing of why Pick 10 worked so well, is because there was trade-offs, right? If you wanted to run 6 perks in a Pick 10 game, well, guess what? You're only running a no attachment weapon. You're pretty much a super soldier, but your weapon is incredibly weak. Whereas in this game, you can run a 5 attachment weapon and be super strong, run 6 perks, a frag and a stun, a really strong secondary with 5 attachments, and just decimate everything. It makes the game stupidly easy and there's no hard decision making. It's just, oh, well, I guess I'll just use this broken secondary. What broken secondary should I use? Dual wield Diamatis or dual wield Magnums? You see, there's no hard decision making there. It's just, well, which broken secondary am I better with? You know, which wildcard? And we're not even bringing up the fact of other wildcards in the game, like Danger Close, which is super annoying, but nobody ever runs it. And then you go ahead and bring 8 attachments into play. Now sure, running 8 attachments, you give up 6 perks, but who's going to run 8 attachments over 6 perks? It makes no sense. The problem with Cold War's created class system currently is there's no hard trade-offs to make. It's not like, well, if I don't run 8 weapon attachments and this weapon's not that good, okay, pick another weapon. Most of the good weapons in this game are viable with 5 attachments. The only gun that I can think of that you pretty much need 8 attachments on is the FAMAS. And even then, I wouldn't recommend running the FAMAS because the FAMAS is just worse than the AK. It's worse than the Krig. It's worse than the XM4 in some cases. There's just no point in running the FAMAS, right? So half the time, it's not even like, oh, well, 8 attachments or 6 perks, which I thought was going to be the case of people balancing that out, but that's not the case at all. The case is, well, 6 perks. Okay, well, Flak Jacket Tac Mask or Flak Jacket Engineer. Okay, well, what do I want to run in the blue slot? Well, doesn't really matter, honestly, they're all not that great, but, you know, usually Quartermaster so you can regenerate your frags and stuns, and then Scavenger to get ammo. Okay, well, you go to the yellow perk slot, well, Ghost Ninja, or Ninja Spycraft, are the two things that you run. And if you're running Ninja Spycraft, then you're probably running Engineer, but if you're running Ghost Ninja, then you're probably just going to run Tac Mask or something like that. And I could go into the whole depth of why I think the perk balance is also horrendous in the game, but I think I already have. The point I'm trying to make here is there's virtually no trade-offs in Cold War. The classes are the exact same. Every single one of my classes is the exact same, because the only trade-off to running a really strong secondary is that you don't have a launcher. Oh well, run Ghost. Problem solved, you don't have to deal with UAVs or even harps anymore. I don't know. I don't think I need to go too much more in depth into this. I'm obviously pretty passionate about this topic because I think Pick 10 is just so much better than this terrible system that we have now. But I hope you guys did find some enjoyment in this video, and if you did, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and with that being said, if you made it this far, comment painting, and I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Bye-bye.